I will go ahead and welcome everyone to the Governance Committee. Thank you for being here. Ms. Vaughn, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we'll call this meeting to order at 12:02. And Ms. Vaughn, if you would call the roll, please.
Ms. Hubbard,
Here.
Ms. Foster,
Present.
Dr. Collins Adams. We have a quorum.
All right. The first thing we need to do is to approve the last minutes from the last meeting. And I'm going to contact Dr. Collins Adams.
I move that we approve the meeting minutes from the last governance meeting.
Of 11/6/25. I second.
Thanks.
Okay.
All in favor of the minutes being approved?
I
Aye.
Motion approved.
okay. Then we come to the board bylaw review, which we have some papers here.
Good morning, Ms. Hubbard.
Good morning.
I had forwarded the policies that were reviewed with MSBA from the committee this last spring. And I think the committee is probably going to have a more lengthy discussion in its retreat.
Yes.
That's the recommendation. So I guess at this time, I don't really have an update for you.
Yes, I think our recommendation is to send this to the retreat agenda and finally get it settled. So thank you.
Mhm.
All right. And then we have our board norms, which here they are. So we have April 19 norms and then fall of 25 norms. And again, now that we actually have a retreat scheduled, this is probably something that it would be more feasible to discuss and get board agreement, and then we can pass a whole lot of things in our January work session. Does anyone have any comments about this? No? Okay. We'll move on to the next agenda item. Okay, number 5, the whistleblower hotline.
Good afternoon. In summary, I brought to the board, and I apologize, it was August or September, a renewal agreement for our current whistleblower individual who manages the hotline and the email that we have for the whistleblower claims. The board did approve a contract with that individual pending also an RFP. So they wanted me to go out and see if there was another service that we could compare his service to. But it did agree to approve an agreement with the Wyndham Group through June 30th of 26, with the ability to terminate earlier if if a different vendor came through the RFP process that we thought were more favorable. I want to share with you that the RFP did go out. It was out to the full public. We only had one entity that actually responded to the RFP, and the price for that proposal is $15,635 a month. Our current individual, the Wyndham Group, the charge is $500 a month. Essentially, the RFP proposal is for a full-time employee 24/7, and that's why the cost is so high. the Wyndham Group is able to look and review emails and phone calls on a daily basis, not not immediate like this company would be doing. Based on the cost differential, I'm not sure that we have better services that would be provided by this group based on the district's need. My recommendation would be to reject the proposal through the RFP and continue with the Wyndham Group at this time.
That works for me. Dr. Berry, do you have any thoughts?
Thank you. I too agree. I was able to look at the proposals and the request. And while the number of whistleblower complaints that we come in, I think would not escalate to having someone 24 hours a day on site. I think we would certainly continue with having someone that's able to monitor them daily and when they come in, be able to respond to them, but not 24 hours. I think the minimum right now would be best to continue.
Great. Do we need to take that recommendation to the board or just renew them when it is the next fiscal year?
Attorney McLaughlin, can you assist us with that one?
We have an agreement through June 30th of 26. I think it can be reconsidered again in the spring if the board would like to do that, or we could move forward with his, a renewal with him. I think it's always good to go out and see what else is out in the public realm. And at this time, I think we have the best thing. So the process for the board did not, Ms. Vaughn, if you could remind me, I don't think they necessarily voted on even going out with the RFP. I think it was a suggestion from the bench that we followed. I don't believe the committee needs to take any further action at this time, but it's certainly up to the committee.
So yes, the recommendation was, well, the suggestion was made to view other options. But in the meantime, there was that approval to extend through while we looked. But that's where it went. It was just a recommendation to see if there were anyone else.
Okay. Great. Well, I'm sure we will address this in the spring when it comes up at a regular time.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. And next we have the calendar policy. Which is that a policy from MSBA that we're adopting? I read it, but I can't find it anymore in my papers.
It's okay. We did have Dr. Dino. She's able to speak to what our ask would be.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so our current board policy for the calendar was most recently revised on December 7th of 1999. And it's a short 2 paragraphs that tells us that we will provide a minimum school year of 174 days and 1,044 hours of student attendance. The last time calendars were adopted was in 2023 for the 2024, 2025, and 2025, 2026 school years, neither of which had 174 days of student attendance, and the state law requires 169. It's kind of been, to my understanding, like a slow, like first there was a financial incentive to have a calendar that had at least 169 days, and now it's a legal requirement to have a calendar that has 169 days. So we asked MSBA for a model policy on calendaring, and they sent us the one that you all received. And you'll notice that there's more that Missouri requires in a school calendar beyond the number of school days and the number of hours. They require that you have your snow days and makeup days listed on there, which we will moving forward. They also talk about that your calendar needs to include things like professional development, which ours have, but our policy has not been in alignment with that. And so our request at this point is that the board consider adopting MSBA's model policy for calendars because it complies with the state law and is in alignment with what our actual practice is, because our current calendars are not in alignment with our current policy.
Yes. I would like for things to be in alignment. Okay, well, I will make a motion to recommend to the board in the January meeting to accept the MSBA model policy on calendars.
Second.
Any discussion? Ms. Vaughn?
Ms. Hubbard,
Yes.
Ms. Foster,
Yes.
Dr. Collins Adams,
Yes.
motion approved.
Okay, I'll put together a bar then for that for,
Okay.
do you want it to go, I can put one together now, it may be a little late to go for the work session next week. Or do you want me to put one together and have it sent so it can be on for the work session in advance of the board meeting in January?
I think that would be best. I would certainly speak to Ms. Vaughn and Dr. Collins Adams, but I believe we might still have time to get it on for discussion and then for the
Okay.
approval
All right.
in January.
We'll submit the
Thank you.
bar today, and then if we have to change the dates to do it for January, February, then we can do that. Okay? Thank you.
Okay. Up next is the board retreat, which is going to happen December 16th. Dr. Collins Adams, do you want to speak more about that?
I just requested agenda items from our board. It'll be December 16th, and Ms. Vaughn you can chime in at any time from, I believe, 4:30. Is that what time we're starting?
Yes, 4:30 to 8:30 p.m.
And should we have the opportunity to end early, that would be fine. But right now, that's the way it's scheduled so that we can go over a number of things that the board would review or implement or determine would be our next steps in the process of maintaining our presence as a strong board.
Okay. And certainly the bylaws and the board norms would be included in that. Okay, that sounds great. And then we have number 8 is board member self-evaluations, which I did not have anything prepared, but I just wanted to send out 3 or 4 simple questions like, what's the best thing we did this year? What's the best thing you did? What was the worst thing? What's the worst thing we did? And just not really like that, but similar to just give us a period for self-reflection. And then we can talk about it at the board retreat. And just, make us into a better, more connected board. I don't think we've done that in a long time.
No, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So I will send that out today. Okay. This went so much faster than I was thinking when I put the agenda together. And AJ, I'll look at those questions. Yes, we can use the standard language. And okay, that is our last item on the agenda, except for adjournment, unless anyone has anything else to bring to the table. No. All right, I need a motion to adjourn then.
I move that we adjourn at 12:15 p.m.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye.